This is a lecture from Open Tuition. For the free lecture notes that go with this podcast, please visit opentuition.com.
I keep saying you're virtually certain to be asked an MPV. What he's quite commonly asked as part B, but not always, is he asks you to calculate or to estimate the internal rate of return. Only do this if it's actually asked for. Can somebody tell me, please, in words, what do we mean by the internal rate of return? All right, the internal rate of return, there's only one definition of it. It's the rate of interest at which the net present value is 0. In that sense, it's break even. The rate of interest at which the net present value is 0, in that sense, it is break even. You've got to make sure you can do this fast in the exam. It's easy. The only way he'll ever expect you to do it is effectively 2 guesses and approximate. For part A, we've worked out the MPV at a rate of interest of 10%, and it's positive. To get 0 net present value, tell me please, will the rate of interest be higher than 10 or lower? Higher, yeah. The more expensive interest is, the less worthwhile the project. The internal rate of return will be higher. Make a second guess, higher than 10. Sorry? What? Yes. Anything you like. What I would always do, because it's mid-range, is either 15 or 20. I'm going to guess at 15%. Can you all work out, please, as fast as you can, what's the net present value at 15? And then we'll try and do an internal rate of return. What's the net present value at 15? If you remember internal rate of return, carry on and do it. If you don't, check at 15 and then watch me. We've got the cash flows. It should take literally 10 seconds. What's the MPV at 15%? Check me. I say that shouldn't take 10 seconds. Whatever problems there may have been or not getting the cash flows, any discounting in the exam always will simply be using tables. Is everybody happy? Discounting there at 15%, I think the answer is right. Plus 243. Is that? Everybody. Alright, the internal rate of return, watch me, I'm going to do this once and once only. If you've been in the textbook and learnt a formula, great, but the formula's not on the formula sheet. The formula works, but I think if you see the logic, there's very little to learn. What have we done? Sorry, keep having to rub out here. We've worked out the MPV at 10%, and we got, was it plus 387? Help, was it plus 387? And we then did a second guess at higher than 10, At 15%, we got plus 243. Tell me, please, to get 0, which is what we're after, is it higher or lower than 15%? Pardon? I think higher wins. Surely it's still positive. To get 0, to get a lower NPV, we need a higher cost of money. It will be higher than 15. Now, in an ideal world, you'll have a plus and a minus. But it doesn't matter. Here it's plus and a plus, it's irrelevant. All you need to do ever is this. And I say I'll do it once. If you want to use the formula, do, but I just think it's dangerous. Over a change of 5 percentages from 10 to 15, the NPV has fallen. It's fallen from plus 387 to plus 243. It's fallen by how much? I think 144. We assume, but it's only approximation, but always in the exam, we assume it's linear. And therefore, for every 144 change in NPV, the rate of interest would change by 5%. And now you can write the answer straight down. We know the internal rate of return is more than 15%. How much more? We need the NPV to fall by 243 to get 0. Well, if 144 is 5%, 243 is nearly twice as much. It's nearly twice 5%. You understand me? We simply take a fraction. It's 243 divided by 144 times 5%. I say again, to fall that much is 5%. To fall that much is nearly twice as much. It's nearly twice 5%. The internal rate of return, therefore, will somebody check me? I get about 23.4%. In the exam, always write against it. It's only approximate. This is all you would ever do in the exam, ever. Can somebody tell me, why is that only approximate? Why is it not precisely 24.whatever%? Precisely. Effectively, we assume it's linear, that with higher interest, NPV falls. In fact, it's not linear, and that's why it's only approximate. Always write it down. He doesn't always need it, but it only takes a second. If nothing else, it might get you a bonus half mark. I say again, don't work out internal rate of return unless he asks for it. It's just that it's reasonably common, because once you've done part A of the NPV, it shouldn't take many minutes to do an internal rate of return. They quite often sticks it in for perhaps 3 months. Okay.